Welcome back to Limbus Company, Canto 7. Part 3 is released. It's time for us to begin the end of the dream. Okay, I'll keep my Kevlin. I'm not sure if I'm going to need it. Trying to see that sort of thing. Okay, no banner or anything, as is usual for a part 3. I guess I get some of that, so that's nice at least. Oh, I didn't even realize. Yeah, we didn't get a center target extraction, huh? So we've only got 2 right now. That's weird. We do have everything to claim from here, though. Your name Mercala. Some cool-looking Don Quixote banner I don't want to look too much into. I'm curious who the other announcers are. I think that's festival-themed, Area 3-themed. New ticket. Curious about some of these other stuff, you know, other Yearning Mercala, more of those. I'm not going to look too closely at the profile banners and stuff, because I want to wait on that. Okay, Sancho. That's cool to know. I was curious what the other one was going to be. I assume it was going to be something spoilery. I think that's the only other big thing here, barring, like, just scrolling through all the E.G.Os and stuff. Let's just claim all, right? How much stuff do I get? I guess E.G.Os first, right? Sinclair first. Alright, you try impaling yourself with it then. How it feels to have someone else's curse. Curious what these E.G.Os are going to do. I really don't have a good guess other than, like, Envy, Piercy, but a lot of ways I could go about doing it. It's Envy, of course, yeah, it's a Teth, of course, as expected. Probably going to be, like, a shoe-in for Sinclair's Teth slot, given the competition. We got Rodions. Now little Teddy dance after me, ta-da! This is such a cute-looking E.G.O. Like, the little teddy bear is so awesome. I like it a lot. I'm really curious what this E.G.O is actually going to do, because it's very weird. It's a he, Envy, as expected. Just me, more of me after what I did for the La Mancha Land narration. It's kind of ridiculous. Ha, I will do it. This was not a refusal. That's cool. They're playing into, you know, the whole bit of the La Mancha Land, like, narration thing with that one. Merceau, blossom from the blood of beautiful flower. I shall gladly claim you as mine. He looks super cool. Assumably it's Wrathvav, right? Oh, it's Lust, actually. Why? We have so many Lust Vobs. Okay, Dawns might be Wrath, though. That might be the bit, right? They might not both be Lust, surely. Much I wish taking one such recording activity myself. Prepared I am to take on such responsibilities. Yeah, of course you'd be, you know, jumping at the ability to. Okay, yeah, this one is Wrath. Steeped in the blood, yes. Interesting. They're doing the same thing with Binds, but it's different sin affinities. Fine to get another Lust Vav, though. And there it is. Oh, no, it's Lust as well. The text looked red there. Alright. Kind of disappointing, because we've got too many. We've got so many Lust Vavs now. This is our, what, like, 4th and 5th one, then? Right? Because we've got Garden of Thorns, we've got Contempt Awe, we've got Sanguine Desire. Like, isn't it a little much? I don't know. Not the biggest deal. Get a bunch of boxes, bunch of red boxes, some thread, all the E.G.Os, all those sort of cool things. The funny banner as well. Nice. Bunch of things to look at. I guess I'll take a look, right? Bunch of phrases. Now a little blank dance at me. Oh, Teddy. We get Teddy as a word, don't we? Oh. Oh. We get borders and stuff. Okay, I'm not looking at that too much because, that was a very strange-looking name. I think I'm going to not look at it because it was something I did not know. I should have just not looked as my, you know, was my original intention. Okay, we've got all of these. We're going to throw them all on, of course, and we're going to uptie them all. No IDs, but we can still look through these E.G.Os a bit. Yeah, that's a lot of Lust Vobs we've got going on right now, that's for sure. It makes sense. It fits the most, but, God, is that not a bit of, like, like, let's just look at this. Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A lot of Lust Vobs. They're going to be more Lust Residents. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, let's look at the other things first. Let's go in the order we actually got them. Starting with Sinclair Hexnail, of course. Let's get this to max. Of course. Gets the funny animation. It's not that funny of an animation. It's not an ID. I did make sure I think I've got enough, like, everything to just get everyone up, like, without needing to worry, so that's good. More than enough thread and shards for everyone. Right. Okay, let's see. 2 Lust, 2 Pride, 2 Envy. It's Envy, of course. 2 Nail, 2 Coin, Envy 9+6. For every enemy residence, attack weight +1. Target is cursed immediately. Activate it twice and reduce it by 2. Oh, that's interesting. So you can actually, like, pop curse early. Because normally random debuffs each turn, but with this you can kind of pop it a bit early, get more going on. Yeah, it's got some Nails infliction as you expect. Inflict curse, inflict 1 additional curse for every 2 negative effect on target that aren't curse or nails max tier. So it can get up to 4 curse, and then potentially inflict clash power down. Same turn clash power down though, yeah. Assuming it inflicted that many. Okay, so leaning into the curse bit, that's interesting. Curse is a little too weak for me to see too much appeal. At 6 MD res, this does become a 3 target, 6 plus 9. So it doesn't have any like coin power gain or anything, but that's interesting. Corrosion is 3 weight by normal. 25 minus 6, cool. Curse immediately, nails, yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, assuming it's gonna... A bunch of random debuffs here, yeah. I mean, it could be nice, I guess, right? Seems pretty standard. What about the passive? The unit has a negative effect, gain 1 clash power and 1 defense level power up. That's nice. Gain 1 protection for every 3 negative effects themselves, max 2. Okay. I kind of like that. Like, do you have anything that can... I guess that counts for something like self-tremor, right? So, like, if you get this passive running for, like, Molar Boat works, because you always have tremor, you should always get the clash power and defense power up. That's nice. Don't think you got any other, like, self-debuffing stuff particularly, right? Because, like, yeah, none of these other guys do. So that's the only one that actually, like, particularly can benefit that. I guess Talisman doesn't count as negative, yeah. That's interesting, though. It definitely seems like a good power. It could be a powerful one for, like, solos and stuff, right? Being able to get some protection for just having debuffs, but that's super inconsistent, because, yeah, you're not going to have a lot of debuffs most of the time. Okay, I like that passive. The actual E.G.O itself seems pretty, simple, that sort of thing. It's a better tech than what he's got. It's, interesting, that's for sure. We'll see, I guess. It doesn't roll very well, of course, that's what you expect from multi-coins, right? Let's move on to the more interesting of the Hex Nails, though. Rhodions. Get this to max, of course. Oh, I saw something about heal, so this is like a heal-focused E.G.O, potentially, to some degree. Which is interesting. I guess it makes sense because it's going in the same slot as Pursuance, which is already rated nice for healing. So it's going to actively try competing with that, maybe. 8 plus 8, 2 coin. This one's slash, so interesting. Brony's not bad on envy teams just in general because, well, DHE's skill 2 is pretty nice, but... So you can heal self to it, has released HP for 50% of this unit's max HP. So just kind of like... So similar to Pursuance, but like less, right? It's self as well, though. So it's like a Pursuance that can actually help self and other allies. Each healer receives more for every negative effect on themselves, max 10%, okay. More synergy with having debuffs. It fits like Faust Exile, right? At 4 plus res, including the skill, heal 1 additional ally. Okay, that's nice. Not a full team-wide heal, but it's decent. Like, if you're running an envy team, you're probably going to have, like, fluid sac stuff, so the healing isn't, like, going to be the biggest deal, but... Can be nice. It's a healing E.G.O that heals self and other allies. It's less than something like Pursuance would be, but it's self and it can be potentially up to 4 people in total, effectively, because self, 2 others, 1 additional. And then, yeah, nails, curse, that sort of thing, as we'd expect. Counts the bleed E.G.O, that sort of stuff. Corrosion heals... Yeah, Corrosion also heals, but it doesn't heal self, so it's 20% for 3 other allies. Okay. That roughly adds up to be, like, equivalent to what Pursuance normally is, right? Because Pursuance is 30% for 2 people, this is 20% for 3 people. And each healer receiving unit gains offense level until next turn for every negative effect on themselves. So that means this turn and next turn, assumably? Interesting. Add resonance could be even more. That's interesting. A lot of corrosions for healing E.G.O are just not corrosion, or not healing. It's interesting to see a corrosion that still gets some healing shenanigans. Okay, and the passive is a bit of a long one. When inflicting bleed or unique bleed into enemy with base attacks, go with like defense level down once per turn. Target is bleed or unique bleed, inflict 2 bleed once per turn. Okay. So you get some defense level down. So that's kind of similar to Rusted Nail, right? Which is you get from the Hurting Teddy Bear, so it makes sense. If an ally takes direct HP damage and inflict 1 curse against the target enemy 2 times per turn. Oh, that's cool. Curse is really bad. Like, it's not very usable whatsoever because it is completely random. And it's like if it's like defense power down is literally a 25% chance for it to be basically worthless. 1 attack power down is nice. Offense level, defense level down are nice. Not really that big of a deal. Sinclair being able to verse it a little more sounds interesting, but I don't know. Interesting. This one definitely could be a competition for Pursuance. But it's a little bit more, like, envy, resonance, like, dependent, that sort of thing, so... Not fully sure. It's got, like, more potential, it's more allies in general. If you're worried about Rhodion dying, it's nicer, just because, well... I mean, it also, like... 4 envy and 2 lust, 1 pride. That's not bad. Really not bad. Interesting. Let's see. Let's start with Mercer's Yearning Mercala, though. It's got unbreakable coins. That is cool. That is very cool. It's just not that strong, really. If you're losing a clash with a VoV E.G.O, why were you using the VoV? I guess it can be nice in like bad clashes, but in general, can't imagine that part's actually very good. 4 lust, 3 pride, 4 envy makes sense. Yeah, 5 plus 4, 4 coin. Could power was 1 for every bleed on target. He didn't really have any great IDs to synergize with bleed stuff. He's got a couple bleed IDs because he got like Gross Hammer and Rhino, but they're not people you'd really want to run on basically any bleed team. So cool though. If like bleed high resonance, activate bleed on target once, target loses 1 bleed count. Okay, that's cool. Being able to like activate bleed just on hit with the first 2, and then Rose Wedge as well. So what is this? Max count plus 4. Gain 1 potency every time the unit takes 10 bleed damage. When gaining unique or bleed from getting hit, gain 2 bleed and inflict 1 bleed against the attacker. Opponent gain 1 bleed count as well when triggering the above effect. Lose 1 count each turn. So it's got potency and count, up to like 4 count, 10 potency. So the count just goes down by 1 each turn. Okay. Increase blood feast by potency times episode. Okay. So it means that, like, it'll inflict some bleed against the attackers, but also more bleed against the person with this status effect. Which is interesting. How does this gain potency? Because that's just inflicting count. 2 bleed. Yeah, more bleed is just inflicted on you in general. 10 potency. And then the potency never goes down, right? So if you can get to 10 potency, it's just kind of like a slightly worse, but like non-mirrored on exclusive wound cleared. Also, I didn't look at the SP. Yeah, it's 10 cost on upfront, 10 SP every turn for 3 turns. Yeah, makes sense. Activate bleed 1 plus highest resonance divided by 2 times 3 times max. Target loses bleed count equal number of times. When dealing excess damage past the enemy's remaining HP, dealing excess damage is fixed damage between all enemies. Min 1. Alright. Just more on top of that, geez. There's a lot going on here. But, like, how do you get Rose Wedge potency up, then? Oh, yeah. Never mind. Game point if you take 10 bleed damage. That would do it. That would do it. Silly me. But, like, as long as you clash when you hit with this, that's 4 wedge count. That means it's going to last for 4 turns. Should be easy enough to build a potency by just doing a bunch of bleed damage. Very strong. Then corrosion. More coin power up to max 3. Consume up to 10% of the max you can deal HP to all enemies and allies, including self. Because it's all allies. That includes less than 50%. Activate and inflict 5 bleed on all allies instead. Heal HP equals the amount of bleed damage to allies. Okay. Activate 3 bleed. Or no, inflict 3 bleed on self and target. Activate bleed on self and target once. Okay. For legends, if they didn't have Rose Wedge before, and they get some potency as well, the excess thing again, that sort of thing. Jeez. Unit takes or deals bleed damage, heal HP equal to the bleed damage, max 10 per turn. When activated skill that inflicts bleed to the target's Rose Wedge, inflict additional bleed 1-2 times per turn. Okay. Little bit of healing, not a lot, but I mean 10 per turn can still really add up. It kind of can counteract, like, the bleed damage you're going to innately get from, like, Rose Wedge and stuff by just inflicting them with bleed. Jeez. And that's the non-big VoV, right? We haven't even looked at Dawn's yet, which is assumably going to be even more insane, even more unbreakable. I wouldn't be surprised if it's all unbreakable. Yep. That would do it. I saw it's a 5 target. Is that going to change it up to 4? Or Threadspin 4? Just might. Yep, would you look at that? Who would have thought? We have exactly enough Dawn shards. That wasn't... Oh, no, that's... No, we've got 198. Right. Thought it was 150 for a second in there. No. I was going to be like, that wasn't intentional, but no. Cool. Yeah, okay, this one's got a little bit more. 3 plus 3 with 4 coins. Alright, 7 attack weight. Does not drop below 0 while using this skill. Oh boy. Coin power for every 10 bleed on target. Flash power plus 1 for every 100 blood fees consumed by this unit. Less than 100 blood fees inflict 1 bleed with every hit. Or 3 turns, lose 10 SP and SP and yeah. A little bit more than Merso because the more upfront still. Meridian for every blood fees consumed shared. When it says shared, does it mean across all units? Interesting. Does that for all of these things. Polydipsic Rose. Oh, they don't both have the wedge. You've got a unique one. Based on highest lowest resonance, max 4. Max life 5, 10 plus bleed points. You take less damage equal to 1% use max HP, max 30%, turn rate reduced by 1. Okay. What? It's just 1% of the unit's HP damage each turn at high bleed for a few turns. Like, that's nice, but, like, not a lot. This is gonna do a lot of damage, though. Doesn't seem to have a way to consume Blood Feast, though. Maybe the passive will do that. Which is choosing one experience health 10 per turn. Cool. Does the current corrosion consume Blood Feast? Doesn't look like it. Okay. This is your average stupid damage, E.G.O. It's a 3+3. It's got this, like, you can theoretically get it to a 3+5 target if the main target has at least 20 bleed potency. Theoretically 3+6 if you're running Middle Dawn and get Vengeance Mark going, but I don't think that should be considered, you know, the norm. Just a lot of damage. Not super bleedy. Like, you're inflicting some bleed, don't get me wrong. Polydipsic Rose is something. Mersos being the real bleed one is funny. Because he doesn't have any IDs that are good for this. But, like, I guess this corrosion is going to be inflicting a bunch of bleed, right? Immediately on self. Immediately cool. And look at this too much. Like, 1 bleed for every 50 blood feast consumed shared, max 10. At less than 100 blood feast, inflict 10 bleed. So either early on or late on, it should be like 10 bleed per hit with that coin. Oh, this one's only a 2-coiner. I didn't even notice that part. 2-coiner, not unbreakable. 30 minus 10. Also, that sort of stuff. Heal by 50% of damage dealt. Maxed. What's the... Okay. I get it's because it's an attack weight thing, right? If it's a bunch of targets, like, you can theoretically get up to 70. Kind of lame to have max 10 on the healing for, like, the big vampire thing. That's fine. Okay. Interesting stuff. We'll see how much we can actually use these in combat. I'm definitely sad that they're Lust, because, like, we have so many Lust E.G.Os, and we've got such little Wrath so far. Kind of unfortunate, but that's fine. Still, I'm excited to see them in action. We haven't even seen Mersos in action, and like these three we've only briefly seen in action. I guess we've seen yours fully, but we haven't seen any of the corrosions either, so that's also gonna be fun. I think that's enough. Oh no, wait, there's another just announcer. That's right, I almost completely forgot. The Blood Fiends of La Mancha. Oh, cool. We can see them all without masks there too, which is funny. That's interesting. I mean, I'll get them, of course. I've got the emergency room. The kid has been waiting for a moment. Today, I'm this area's fixer time. The attraction is about to begin. Please enter in orderly fashion.
지금부터 입장 시작하겠습니다. 모두 질서를 지켜 입장해 주시기.
So true. That's funny. Makes sense. I can select all 3 of these ones, and we'll just roll with these for today. That'll be funny. Cool to see. I wonder how people are gonna feel if you can see Sancho without knowing the realization, right? That feels like a huge thing to just show. Hopefully it's hidden or something, but I don't know if it is. Alright. We've got our team set up, though. I'm curious. What's gonna happen when we click on this? Is it just straight into a dungeon? Oh, we can claim this. It is straight into a dungeon, though. Yeah, that's for sure. God, it's so hard to navigate around here. Here we go. Tale of a Great Fixer who once reached for the dream. Level 50, suppress the dungeon boss. 6 modules. Okay, well I can just do a bit of this real quick. I always just wanted to make sure, right? I had a feeling it was going to be a dungeon, but just wanted to make sure. We can actually get into it now. Oh boy. Alright, enough stalling. Let's get into this, shall we? This is the team I'm going to be running. I keep on saying this, we can't actually select the 6. I've got a plan, though, with or without Dawn. It's mostly going to be new IDs and people who've gotten E.G.Os and stuff. The team is going to be the 6 who get E.G.Os, like, ideally. But since Otis didn't get an E.G.O, she's also here. Rodion will be benched when we can't use Dawn, because we're probably not going to be able to use Dawn the entire time. We'll see how this goes, though. Did Aegis Fixer of the Zwei Association refuse to let this destroyed spirits and sails once again to the great sea in a mere raft? Okay, Aegis, Fixer of the Zwei Association must be the one mentioned in the previous cutscene, you know, the Zwei versus the Hana person. Funny name, that's for sure. My dearest compatriots, this trial is but a stepping stone that will bring us to greater heights. One day we shall proudly engrave today's suffering upon our shields to remember it in better days. Is this like pre-Blood Fiend Sancho, assumably? Or is it... Oh, no, it's... No, that's wrong. That's completely wrong. It's supposed to be, like, post-Blood Fiend. No, it's supposed to be, like, No, post, like, Riverleaf, right? She had lost all her memory, that sort of thing. Whatever antics get her to Limbus Company now. I suppose that's what's going on here inside the abandoned lighthouse. See a bunch of funny things in the background. You know, Zwei stuff. Fish. Hana stuff. Flag. Interesting stuff in the background, that's for sure. A lot of focus on Zwei, which is funny, especially. Makes sense, though, because they're, you know, supposed to be your shield. No, it makes sense that she'd put them on a especially high pedestal. Thus, this battle is far from over. Find thy courage, charge! Then they looked at one another in the eyes, their determination forged in flames. Oh, what a line! Yet, the scores of enemies already waiting for them in ambush from the shores, loose thousands of arrows upon them, the sheer quantity eclipsing the very sun. The arrows rained down their fury upon our heroes, yet they stood their ground with their ironclad shields. Yet there is no shield sturdy enough to withstand such unending onslaught. Even their iron shields began to crack. And as the shields cracked, the mental fortitude of his men began to splinter as well, and many were seen slowly backing away from the battle. Nay, we shan't ever give up. I shall be thy shield and ward, men. Indeed, our iron shields are but tools that may break and splinter. But upon that moment I shall be the shield by which thou shalt be protected from our foes' arrows. The arrows may break my body, but they shall never pierce my righteous heart of justice. Yeah. Row, row, leave me and push on, men. Aegis is interesting. I'm not sure exactly what, like, this Zwei thing is supposed to be referencing, because the Aegis is, you know, like, the shield, Medusa's head thingy, Greek myths, used by Athena / Zeus, depending on, like, the stories. Wasn't really a person exactly. Interesting, though. There's probably more stories about Aegis, though. I don't know. No matter what trial may stand in our path, we shan't ever give up. The adventure of today was just as exhilarating as it ever was. It hath set fire to the passion in mine heart. Sure would. Yeah. And this is like her actual, her E.G.O artwork, right? Her just sitting there kicking on the floor, a bunch of fixer stuff in the background. Interesting to see some of these games. I want Okay. Don't know what CB sector is? Like, C Corp, B Corp sector or something? That's funny. It's a funny poster. Justice, yeah. It's like a Hana person here, another Hana one there. Yeah, we saw the one. I don't know what fish is supposed to be, but you know, it's also similar to the one interactual like E.G.O background, so it makes sense. This fellow's fixer, this Zwei. How fares thee? 'Tis my 131st letter. Prithee, excuse my persistence. 'Tis merely that my passion cannot be well doused. I like how we also see that Rocinante is so much cleaner here. It's funny. I am soon to be a fixer myself. And with thy teachings I shall become a fixer most just and persistent who doth not know surrender. Forget not, O Don Quixote, fixer of the future. She's hearing yep delusions, fits. Forsooth, the first most virtue of fixer must be, and always be the righteous justice. Thou mustn't turn away from the needy, and thou must always put thy entire being into helping them. I am well aware of that myself. Mine adventure on the morrow shall be alongside the Trace Association. Trace mention, let's go. The Trace Association. Very well, a relatively fledgling, yet quite prolific association indeed. It is said that they specialize in tools and arms for the city dwellers and its fixers, as well as the workshops that fabricate and maintain them. Are we finally getting a Trace stuff this season? Like, for how frequently they get mentioned, like, across, I mean, it's fairly infrequently, but, like, the fact that we still know so little about them, just, like, workshops being a huge thing in the city. Very sad. Hopefully we get, like, a Season 0 banner for them sometime this season. Indeed, the associations are established in the order of need for the city. Then I must bid thee farewell until next time. Our next adventure shall be the adventure at the 11 wastes of the ruins, in which the heart of a beastly bird was pierced. Interesting. I look forward to hearing thine exploits. Forsooth, this adventure shall be, as all hath been just thus far, a glowing victory. Ugh. I recommend you stay put inside. There is no way to tell what awaits you past that door. I am in agreement. Recall the tale of the Red Hood, who met an end most unfortunate from the simple folly of welcoming in a stranger. Okay, interesting. We're learning about another, like, random red fixer that existed in the past, because we know, we're aware of, the Red Sack as well. Is the Red Hood also gonna be like that, and is that gonna relate to Little Red Riding Hood and Mercenary to some degree? Oh, yet, it's knocking upon my gates. Must mean that a soul seeketh mine assistance. Wouldst thou not agree? I believe I have afforded you sufficient restraint. Virgilius? I'm curious. Yeah, okay. It was the Virgilius color. It sounded like pretty obvious. The build of this place is quite durable, my lady. He just sliced his way in. It should be able to withstand assaults from any pursuing blood fiends. No, even blood fiend hunters. Yeah, he was sent. Unlike, how it was for, because Virgilius and Yisong were both approached immediately by Faust, but Dawn was approached by Virgilius. It is an entirely different question if they can make it this far down to this ruin, of course. Whoever art thou? I am your guide, the one who will guide your path in your real adventure. Please, call me Virgilius. My old friend has told me that you are a second kindred. Who? What old friend of yours, huh? Second kindred? Whatever art thou referring to? And my fellow fixers have warned me that I mustn't leave the confines of this chamber. Do my eyes not remind you of anything? But prithee, do not glare at me with such terrifying gaze! Like the red... And there remains still 1,708 adventures of mine to embark upon. On the morrow I shall depart alongside the Trade Association, and the day after that with the Han Association. Then... Oh, she just means reading books. Yeah, that's the entire bit. Tomorrow she'll depart on the Trade Association. Means tomorrow she'll read a book on, some trace fixer. Assumably, that's just the endless cycle. The fixers on these posters, they're all from at least several decades ago. It is as my fellow has told me, so much of her slumbers, even her instinctive craving for blood. Who do you know? I do not think Virgilius is a blood fiend. I'm sure there's people that have come up with, that theory, oh, he's got red eyes, something like that. No. It's something different. Red eyes in general happen fairly frequently throughout the city. It's always unnatural when it does, to some degree, but it's always interesting. Your adventures with them are unimportant, and you won't have to listen to those fixes anymore, because... Doesn't an adventure guided by me, a fixer bestowed with the title of a color, sound much better than any of that? Oh! Thou art a color! I have heard mention of such a thing from the magazines. That is a title, an honor given only to the finest fixers! Yeah, she's fangirling. I have heard tell that only a very, very few fixers have been granted such extolment, for it hath been but a brief moment since such honor was established. I see now that you wish to put every bit of your past to sleep, even that smell of blood. I will respect your decision and treat you accordingly. Yes, I am the guide who will bring you all to the right path. You must come with me, for this journey demands your company. In return, when the time is right, the promised timepiece shall come to be by your side. God. This is real interesting. Not sure what to think. Is it Gasselshov put with all these commands down? Because I can't imagine they'd have the knowledge to such a degree. It reminds me of Purple Tear-esque things, but from what we've seen, Purple Tear is daftly in opposition to Limbus, but that might be untrue to some. I don't know. Can't imagine Virgilius would work within his organization alongside Purple Tear, though, yeah. Promised? Yes. You are bound by a promise, just as I am. So. Ah. Remember these eyes. Remind yourself time and time again every time you look at these eyes that hold the blood of a generation higher than... What do you mean? I have nary clue as to whatever it is that... I speak of the promise that will one day return to you when the time is right. Remember it, so that the unforgettable promise will one day return to you, so that you may keep it when the time comes, even as it eludes you now. That is the condition of your adventure. If you are willing to accept these terms, then speak your name to me. Don Quixote. Oh, so she just, because she remembered nothing, right? She drank the water. She's been in, like, these ruins around the River Leith for who knows how long at this point. It might genuinely have been, like, the full, like, 200 years or so, right? Since, you know, whatever happened in La Mancha Land to cause it to be sealed off. She's just been spent down here just kind of reading her books over and over again. Living, you know, her ideal life because, well, she doesn't know what else to think. That's what it seems like. Thou mayst know me as Don Quixote. No, that is not my name. Indeed, Sancho. For all that passion you joined the adventure with, you're nothing but a pretender with a borrowed name. There is but a singular path in your adventure. The path laid by his teachings. Don Quixote. Sancho, I have conceived an idea most ingenious. Please don't. I intend to take part in the Blood Fiend War. You don't mean... Indeed, I shall stand with the humans. Not everyone is going to like your ingenious idea. Odd. You sound rather unsurprised by my suggestion. Do you know that I would suggest as such? I had a feeling that you'd be saying something like that soon. Of course, the other elders will come to lecture me or try to convince me otherwise. Sancho, expect many, many guests. Thus? Yes, I will prepare cookies baked with cinnamon. The venerated elder of B Corp can't seem to stop coughing upon ingesting one of those. Interesting. I had intended to suggest that you inform all of them of my absence and lock up the castle gates. Yet I find your suggestion more enticing. However, what truly concerns me is the resistance from your children. You needn't worry then. They are my family. I am certain they will understand. I don't think they will. That brings me to a question, however. Sancho, how is it you're still without kindreds of your own? I enjoy solitude. I wish to live the rest of my life looking forward and only forward. I would rather not have anyone tag along behind me. Speak to me again should that change. It will not, but I will. This war will be a long and difficult one. Difficult, because we will have to slay our own kind. Indeed it shall be. Yet, if we may break their faiths only by breaking their skulls, then it shall be a war worth fighting for. Now that we are discussing this particular subject, Sancho, should the war end? Well, in my victory, obviously. Sure. Anyway, should the war end, I intend to build a place in which everyone may be happy. Happy? What is that expression on your face? It's been eons since that word left my lips. Do you recall that place, this amusement park she spoke of? The place where people scream and shudder not from fear, but from joy? That is the kind of place I intend to build. I still don't quite understand how one screams from joy. In that land, Sancho, there won't be any wearisome battles to fight, no constant fear of getting devoured. There shall be only laughter. Laughter. Though I was not a part of your family, I suppose, I had once looked forward to the realization of his ambitions. As an observer, of course. So he's a blood fiend from a different corp. Do we think he's the elder of B-Corp? Could be, I guess. I don't know. Is his weakness gonna be cinnamon? In this binary world, which has availed us with only two choices, to slaughter humans or to hide underground like rats, he alone was the dreamer who conceived of a third option. Yet, is that the barber, I think? That was no laughter I saw there. They were wailing. Wailing so intense that it had long turned into something that only resembled laughter. Ah. Let us out of here, or crush our heads. No, you won't be leaving this place. You won't find death either. Many, many guests will be lining up to pay a visit to La Mancha Land soon. You recall your missions, yes? There has been 200 years. I don't suppose you had a moment to go by without remembering them. Humans. Humans. Here. Again. It's a festival! The festival's not over! Can people change? I had once thought they could. A long, painful battle lies ahead of us. Ancient battlefield. The bloodfiends that will hate and despise us will be countless. Their hatred will be inconceivable. They will call us traitors to our own kind. They will claim that our nature cannot change, that our existence is destined to prey upon humans, something they will accept as an immutable truth. We will be forced to sever our bonds with whom we have shared our suffering for centuries, those who feel the very same disease that ails us. Our only kindred spirits in this lonely world. Thus, now is your final chance. If you do not wish to participate, if you refuse, then I will not stop you. I refuse. Has she gone mad? Wait, really? I know you won't let me go anyway. Just as a child cannot stop being an offspring of their parent, even if they wish they were. Funny to see them in their non-decayed state. I guess I did already from the announcers, so like it's not like this is the first time I've ever seen them, you know, without freaky faces and masks, but still funny to see. On that day, when the machine purge took place, I was already a dead man. Oh. That's a big moment in time, I think. I assume that's when the head kicked out all the machines from the city into the outskirts. The will of the Father is the will of my own. And assuming the priest was going to be killed that day, but got saved by Don Quixote? I haven't heard that the change of my sisters of late. I'll enjoy this. Very well. What of you, dear Dulcinea? Do as you will. I am very glad to have my children stand by my side. Worry not, for I am the strongest there is, as you must all be well aware. Instead, worry about what is to come once the war ends in our victory. Worry about our lives thereafter, and about how we will live on. Well, how will you live on? I do not know as of yet. However, I suppose we should be able to lead a more joyous life than we do now. To live without our fates bound to murder a fellow living being. Wouldn't you agree that such a life would be a better one? But such is the city, right? Sounds such like a perfect idea, but in this city where such things cannot exist, he's really fighting for nothing. You finally returned to me, my Sancho. Now we cut off from like the flashback thing and get to the actual thing. What joyous day this is, to have all my children by my side once again. Have you said your greetings? You do not know how much we all long to see you again, Sancho. What have they done to you? This. When I could no longer count the number of stakes that have broken my flesh, when the counting itself lost my meaning. I saw a light in the sky, and this melded into my body. So the golden bow fell from above, you're saying? Assumably this was Sanson's work, I think it's safe to guess, but we'll see. A light in the sky. Could we be talking about a golden bow? There must have been a Lobanicorp branch here, and the golden bow within resonated with his... Ah! Don Quixote slowly walked towards the man who spoke in a sedate voice. That's the Phantoms of E.G.O. We should go after her. Now. We woke up from our dumbfounded silence at the sudden turn of events and hurriedly followed her inside. It's dungeon time. It's been a long time. It's been almost a year since the last dungeon, huh? It was late November. Can I scroll down and stuff? Or have they finally fixed that? Okay, they finally fixed that. Yippee. That's good to see. Okay, this is cool, though. It's very different, aesthetic style. We've got a spiral to go in to get to the end. Very linear, it seems. I guess I'm not super surprised by that, though, because that's how most dungeons are in general. A borrowed name. Another story thing. Makes sense. Is that really the same girl who embarrassed herself in that duel against the Sank Fixer? How is she killing so many blood fiends with such little effort? It's a hedge maze so far. Interesting. Every time a bloodbag or a blood fiend approached anywhere near her, Don Quixote struck them down with a blinding blitz. Was she hiding her strength? No, that doesn't seem right, but... She's a blood fiend? How absurd. That creature who deceived us with the false name Don Quixote was a blood fiend all along. Hiding and lurking, pretending to be human. That's enough. Don't you think that's too much? I could be much worse if I wanted to be, but I have enough sense to hold myself back in front of the executive manager. Yeah, Otis did mention that she's got prior experience with blood fiends from Smokemore to some degree, which is interesting. Ryosho also knew of them. Ryosho and Otis were the ones who seemed to have some sort of awareness beforehand. And Gregor, obviously, does not like the immediate dehumanization, Wonder why. Otis did not hide her disgust. She looked towards Faust with that very same expression. The top brass of the company must have already been aware of this, obviously. Of this blood fiend, hiding in her ranks like a snake, biding her time for a chance to sink her teeth into us. But those stories we saw earlier, she wasn't hiding it. She really believed that she was human, that her name was Don Quixote. According to those stories we saw earlier, everything she has told us up to this point was a lie. Everything we've known about her was a lie. How many humans do you think this blood fiend has killed in the past? I understand the duplicitous nature of this company, yes. However, to subject me and the executive manager to such a high-risk situation, and to just let it happen is... We have never just let it happen. Fine. What now, then? It seems that we're not here to eradicate La Mancha Land, but from where I'm standing, it looks like we're only helping it come together. Don Quixote? That is not my name. That is the name of my father. Don Quixote's red eyes shimmer threateningly at Sinclair. The very same eyes I never wish to see again. Sancho, you... I see. Not even you could change. Not even a little. No, I haven't. Nothing. Nothing changed. Look at me. Your Rocinante has suppressed me for but a passing moment. I'm still the same blood-sucking blood fiend who cannot survive without bleeding others. just as how your La Mancha land regressed to nothing but a hunting ground for us to prey on humans. Yes, it has. I was wrong. People can't change. We have no choice but to live shackled onto the path dictated by this disease. My family, whom I love so much, have tried to convince me to turn me to their side. Yet I was too slow. I was the only one who didn't understand. Until it was too late. Even actual Don Quixote's delusions have faded. Also, I just want to point out, that line, disease, not only was it italicized, which is very unique, but very similar to the actual end of Don Quixote, right? Don Quixote gives up on his ideals, dying of sickness, that sort of thing, in his bed, realizing this entire thing was for naught. Very similar. Nicolino, Curiambro, Dulcinea. Is this their doing? Have they tortured you so? So that's their actual names. Nicolina, Curiambro. Assuming Nicolina's barber, Curiambro's priest. Yes, a throne most fitting for such a pathetic lord, wouldn't you say? Sancho, thought my heart would well with joy and happiness upon laying my eyes upon you again. Yet there is only sorrow. I thought at least you would have explored the world outside in my stead, experiencing adventures even more wonderful than the ones I've heard. Yeah, it's a very cool looking pillar, that's for sure. But this poor soul I see before me is no different from me, nor my family. Just a blood-starved, red-eyed victim of this sickness. Oh boy. Oh yep, that's a LobCorp branch, I see. LobCorp branch must have been directly underneath where La Mancha land landed. Somehow, the golden bow resonated with him all the way across the air. And now it's become one, and it's becoming a giant carousel, assumably. These people stabbed, with stakes through them. Very similar to that of the background of Don's E.G.O artwork. The space we're in, it's changing. His emotions must be affecting the golden bow. Inside the body of that pallid whale we encountered at the Great Lake was a golden bow, wasn't it? Yeah, burrowed deep into its heart. A form of existence similar to parasitism. So, what now? Executive manager. While that man with a golden bow in his torso may have once been a powerful being in the past, he seems to have been severely weakened due to an unknown reason. Just say the word and I will... Foolishness. He's not the problem here. It's her. She smells different. Ryoshu pointed her finger toward Don Quixote. Getting more specific. Give me a heads up if you're going to ask us to fight her, Cluck. I like a chance to burn a last cig before I go. Yeah. Ryoshu is pretty smart at knowing, when to pick her fights. Or I guess more so when she's going into a fight she's going to lose. Because it also happened with Ricardo. She was like, this is how I die. Excellent. Or something along those lines. And this is the second time that's happened. Someone who she's been like, we have no chance whatsoever. And I say second time, but there's been more times we've been up against, undefeatable foes. Like, how do I forget his name? The Canto 3 guy. Can't believe I'm forgetting his name. I usually wouldn't. Whatever it was. There's been other times beyond that, but, Ryoshu seems to just be aware and be like, alright, this is a death wish if we do this. I'm going to try talking to her first. I'll go with you, Dante. Guys, this way. I slowly approach Don Quixote, who regards me with her dark eyes, her usual twinkle seeming like a distant memory. Back off. You have brought me, a second kindred, here with an explicit purpose. So that I may punish the bloodfiends who have committed such a sin against my father, so that I may end his suffocating, meaningless existence. But we had no idea. It wasn't our intention to... Yes, that was precisely our intention. Alright. Faust takes a step forward. Only I and Dante, who remained conscious during the events of the warp train, were aware of this. What did you say? This omission could not be helped. Faust is forbidden from being the first to share a sinner's past. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's obvious enough, but it's cool to see it in writing, right? Fausta knows all of the sinner's past in detail. We can tell that already, but she's just not allowed to tell us it until it's been revealed naturally. SPR. But it wasn't just for Don Quixote. She had Gregor's past, Sinclair's past. She didn't talk about either of them until they were ready to talk about it themselves. Or were made to. I believe it is false equivalency to compare this to those cases when it's evident that this was a case of subterfuge. She was an enemy in our midst, which makes your comparison moot. Yeah, I'm not surprised Otis is being very forward about this entire thing. Bloody hell. Can't you see? You're reacting to exactly why they didn't tell us. Messy. Interesting how she's listed as question mark, question mark, question mark. Ah, it's because we all care so much about each other. Please stop this. I fear that it may become rather untoward should we continue to spiral. Yeah, Anglu's little sister's here watching us, guys. Don Quixote watched our bickering wordlessly until the squabble among the sinners began to subside. The entire time they bickered, I racked my brain trying to come up with something, but I mean, like, here's the thing, right? Like, can Sancho understand the ticking? I'm trying to remember if what happened back in the Murder Morph Express. I don't remember. But, like, she's still one of the sinners, right? Even if she's not Don Quixote, if she's Sancho, she's still a sinner, right? I don't know. I just hope you'd understand and come back to our side to be one of us again. All I managed to express was this pathetic, naive hope I'd been stewing in the back of my mind. To be one of you? Okay, so she can confirm. I was assuming as much, but yeah. But you do not know of our eons of suffering. You do not know of our battles, our struggles, our agony, our victories. I don't suppose you ever will. I will slowly look into each and every one of those torturous moments and rekindle my buried memories. And with every memory, it'll all rise to the surface once again. The wrath, the hatred, the loathing. Yeah. This is probably like a good idea of what, this dungeon's gonna be, right? I'm gonna be like going through the various memories in some degree, and these weird stuff's going on at the same time. Thus, I can no longer be one of you again. Oh boy, she's wandered off, and I assume we're locked out of using her or something now. Got a Pecatula. Oh, new Pecatula? New Pecatula? Potentially? New big ones? Oh, it's gonna be Pride and Lust big ones. Oh yeah, because we haven't seen the Pride and Lust question marks yet. Like the 10th level ones. So that's probably what we're gonna see here. That's cool. Makes sense. Okay. Okay. Not even cannot be used. She's just gone. Yeah, that's a little scary. What was the order I wanted to go in? I want to do something like this, yeah. As far as backup units go, just kind of throw in the rest of them. Yeah, cool. 11 deployed is wacky stuff. Well, we're not going to be able to see her E.G.O for at least a little bit, it seems. How glad I am to have you back, Sancho. With you by our side, this place shall be even happier. My family has finally found true happiness. Because they have suffered far too long. They deserve this happiness, more so than anyone. With your return to La Mancha Land, we shall fill this place with even more laughter. Laughter. What a joke. We are here to exterminate your kind. We have been through so much together, have we not, Sancho? Let us show them what we have lived through to these ignorant outsiders. You were foolhardy. Our foes were blood fiends who had grown to the size of giants. Those who had drunk so much human blood that it was boiling, overflowing out of their bodies. They were formidable foes. Our battles were challenging. Even there, you dreamed. A hollow dream. Nothing more. Hark, my dearest compatriots! Art thou ready for this battle? We shall soon strike the battlefield with our full might. Speak, if aught ails thee. Aught ails me. Ahem! Oh, Sancho, thou art recognized. Speak thy mind. Aw. Funny, like, parallels to the various times when, like, Virgilius or Faust would, like, ask a question. Don would be like, ooh, me. Why are you talking like that? 'Tis only right that a fixer to be must speak in a manner befitting of his stature. And my heart beats with such volition whenever I speak in such a manner. Oh, Sancho, prithee, why dost thou not speak as I... So he just picked it up one day and was like, oh, we gotta really get into the roleplay. Yeah! Because it's ridiculously juvenile. Yet I cannot help but cherish that day when we ran across the green fields together, tasting the freedom. You were ambushed by blood fiends who broke your lance. Yes, a lance. You had crafted me of your own blood. The Sangre de Sancho. It was a mistake. I understood my foes, a rather unfortunate yet unshakable habit of mine. I remember telling you to be mindful of them. A powerful gust knocked me into the air before smiting me down into the grass. And you hurried to my side, didn't you? I remember your face, your breathing hastened from worry. It's the windmill! It took me a second. The windmill. I was like, yeah, that's very Don Quixote. But then, wait, a gust of wind? Something knocked you up and then down on the... of course. I wasn't that desperate. As I lay upon my back, gasping at the sky from the shock. You appeared into that view. Perhaps it was that moment that led us to victory in that war. You were already certain of your own victory even before the war began. I must wonder if that was the moment I had begun to think that we could really change. Wonder if that that is supposed to be like Helma Mambrino or something. Like, I don't know if it would be. I'm not fully sure. Like, I feel like I keep on thinking there's an M there, but I think that's just various like marks on it. I think it's like supposed to be his mask to some degree. I'm not fully sure what's going on with it. Watching you, who hated running all your life, breathlessly sprinting to my side. I thought perhaps we were all changing, little by little. Yet we failed, Sancho. And everything around us is a record, a testament to our failures. Look around as you will, Sancho, at our desolation. Okay, Picatula time! Oh, God. Oh, these guys gonna look, I'm curious. Oh, it's reinforcements. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Very cool background, seeing more, like, naturally type stuff. Oh, there's two of these? Oh, there's a total blood feast consumed now. I see. That makes sense. Of, like, everyone at the same time. Yeah, because I think some of Dawn's Yearning Recall are related to that, right? Alright, folks encounter. Forgot about that. I was assuming we were getting into generic encounters immediately. Is there actually something new? I don't think so. It just says new, so I'm checking just to make sure I'm not going to miss something notable. I don't think anything's actually changed, though, right? Like, they don't have passives still. They're, like, the same thing as always. It's just saying I don't know them, yeah. Because I also can't see their resistance, despite being something I fought a couple of times in the past, that's for sure. Let's see. Try something like that, maybe. And you can, like, favorite that. You can, like, favorite that. Sure, that'll work. Probably. Looks good enough. We'll need to get our sanity up, of course, because it's the first fight of the Canto Part 3, right? Using Spike Sinclair as well. I actually didn't use him for Part 1, because I wanted Talisman Sinclair passive to see if I get funnies going on there instead. Nice. Okay, we win those. Cool. I've just kind of got DHE Honglu just because he's fun. I like him a lot. And Devi at Rhodium may be a weird choice, but I kind of want to try using her a little bit in like some of these types of battles because I think it's funny, right? It's silly. So you've understanding. Perfect. Blood Fiends with hats are weak to foam swords. Okay, thank you. And Commons each MV, yeah, she's there. Tablet stagger from the morale should be broken. Charge! Curious to see what Sancho's gonna be saying. That'll probably be funny. Who are you going for? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You're really carrying for us, aren't you? Sure, do something like that. Because we don't actually have a lot of bleed going, we're not going to be getting a lot of scissor blades going for Otis, are we? Just kind of as like a rule of thumb, like this entire rest of the Kanto, right? We're super not bleed oriented. That's fine. There's probably going to be a lot of blood fiend and stuff just because of the enemies, right? That sort of thing. Okay. Yeah, I've got Grip Faust here because I really wanted someone with an Envy skill 1 simply so I could actually get the Hex Nails off because otherwise I didn't have any Envy on this team. That's the main reason. She's also bleed, I guess, and she's like strong in general. Whistles is really strong. Oh, it's waves actually. I didn't realize it wasn't reinforcements. Sorry, be certain of your victory. I am. That is true. I will win without any doubt in my mind. This shall be a free victory. I'll do something like that. They should die. It says new, but I think it's just more skills. Cool. We're getting our sanity up, so that's good. These guys might be higher level than us. I'm not fully sure. Probably not, actually. But we might be getting SP for killing them. I know Otis does no matter what. She's got a unique sanity condition. Very easy to miss out on, but she sure does. So whenever she kills, she gets SP no matter what the level difference is. That's nice. Okay, new ones? New ones? Okay. Alright, and now we're no longer in the delusions. We're in the actual maze. Okay. Cool. Unless you stagger break and take less bleed. Okay, yeah. And you're the same, but take only half critical damage. Yeah, so crit's bad for you. Cool. What are they going for? Yeah, they're going for bleed stuff as you'd expect, less fragility, and these guys are going to be poised and fragile. Yeah, fragile and external and crit. Pretty funny. A little simple in design, that's for sure, but I mean, it's fitting. Funny to see these guys like toppling around. I love the arms so much. They remind me of like the kind of boss you'd see, like a random like boss you'd see in some like N64 game. That's just the kind of vibe they've got to them, right? Do let's see Chun clash this? No. That's definitely a no. Okay, do something like that. Good clashes for the most part. Using are not going to be doing too much damage. We can combat prep you, maybe. And redirect that with you. Cool. That looks good. LA. Oh, their movements. That's so cool looking. You can see their hands just spinning around. What funny little guys. Them in motion is just they're just so blurry. They're just so fast. Probably make sure that Rodion doesn't die. Oh, that is a weird animation. They're going even more into like the Chromer type aesthetic, which makes sense. They're funny seeing metaphorical eyes truly are operating here. My own speed of perfect for them to be perfect. Okay. Like that's like next level yapping. I feel like even more than most things. So we shan't ever know. Yeah, give up. Line is too ridiculously juvenile. Your loss. I think it's peak. I think you're just cringe. Oh, you've got a counter? Makes sense. We could try killing you. Can't imagine you'd, you know, be a big fan of being murdered. Maybe you are, I don't know, I guess. What are you doing? Are you dodging again? Where are you? I can't even find her most of the time. I should be able to find her most of the time. She's getting countered, isn't she? I mean, I guess we let that happen, right? Like, there's not really a reason to bother with it, right? You've got your funny counter thing. She'll HP for every bleed on target. Sure. Not a big deal whatsoever, but sure. Oh, we got that sewing target going. Let's go. Stagger that guy. Nice. You're gonna probably get trolled. Yeah, counter time. How does this counter look? It's just quick spin. Fair enough. Cool to see more Pekatula. I really worry that we might see Envy, but like we probably won't see Envy, right? Envy in general is probably not gonna be super main story stuff. Logically, right? Surely, hopefully. Please. Nice. We're at 2 scissor blades now, riveting stuff. Enjoy that both you and the Bloodbeats both enjoy frolicking and moving their bodies. Who's got it? You've got it. Cool. You get that kill. We should be able to kill a lot of these guys pretty easily here, I want to say. Right, something like this. Cool. Tails, that's fine. That's what happens when you don't have the funny bleed. No shocker. What happens when we don't have funny sanity? It's fine. This kills, yeah. Oh, you were going for that one. I wouldn't have had Honglulu for that one if I knew you were doing it, since Honglulu's, you know, the funny damage dealer. Do we kill this guy? We should, just barely. Yeah, I think if we got 1 Tails there, it might not have killed. Which is funny. Either going, even. Cool to see more Pekatula. That's nice. Sancho walked into the maze that manifested before us, as if to obey Don Quixote's words to observe the desolation. Ugh. So that blood fiend is the same person of that friend of yours who saved my life earlier? Yeah, same person. Are you insane? Does any of this not register to you? The things that she's been saying? This Don Quixote is no... She's still the same person from where I'm standing. Honglu replies confidently. Or perhaps that was just how he usually talks. Even when we grew suspicious, even when we found ourselves at a crossroads, his voice would always carry that calm confidence, so much so that it almost seemed silly. But, thinking back, he's been more right than wrong. And I hope that is the case again today. Try to put my faith in that hope. Cowards and milksops, all of you. If that creature suddenly turns violent against us like an unpredictable animal she is, well... Otis. Yes. Otis straightened up and looked in my direction in her usual militaristic stiffness, but I could see the thinly veiled anxiety and mistrust seeping through her stoic expression. It was inevitable. Whatever the reason, I did hide things from the sinners. And Otis is very sensitive to people withholding information, so it's no surprise she's so disgruntled about this. Yep. However, because it is Otis that I am speaking to, we're going to follow Don Quixote. I mean, Sancho. But that is... Sorry, let me finish. Yes. My apologies. I can't know exactly what you're thinking. I can't read minds, you know, but I do know that you are unhappy about this. She's like, was it that obvious? I should be able to explain everything to you in due time, so... I would like for you to trust me and follow me through this path, which I believe is our way to victory. Otis's grievance probably runs deeper than what's already left her mouth. It wasn't just the omission of intelligence that bothered her. What she was really worried about was that omission compromising me, herself, and the operation itself. That's just the kind of sinner she is. Then the solution must be to address that very thing, to tell her that everything is going according to plan. Remember how every mission we have done so far led to me resonating with the golden bow? And how that was the key to solving them? It won't be different this time, probably. No, it won't be different, I'm sure of it. If that is your wish, then it is my command. Ah, cool, good, cool Otis moment. Sorry for forcing you to come along. Regardless of the outcome of this operation, and regardless of the soundness of your reasoning, I, Otis, did not fold before the authority given to you by your rank. My decision to follow you is based on your effort to understand and explain the potential risks I have pointed out to you. That is why I comply now to your wisdom. Or perhaps the memories of your past are subconsciously affecting your current behavior. I don't remember a thing, though. Don Quixote, executive manager. Amnesia has certainly made things difficult for many of us, hasn't it? There are so many ways to erase people's memory in the city, after all. Yeah, there are plenty of ways to remove people's memories, and that's just counting what's public. I don't like how much knowledge these two have on that, more familial problems, I wonder. Or maybe, like, whatever corp they're from, probably H Corp, relates to memory removal in some way. I don't know. The most common method is moving someone's memory into a different object, or a person. Some parts of the city even sell them as local products. Yeah, once again, you seem to know an awful lot about this. And others to completely destroy the memories. It's cheap, but comes with the risk of affecting other memories. Only desperate backstreet dwellers use this method. And now we know the final method, which has been unknown and remains inaccessible even now. The River of Oblivion, also known as Leaf. Drinking the waters of this river allows one to bury their memories beyond the veil of their consciousness, to the point where they become uncertain, hazy, and dim like the memories from a dream. So is this what Zichun came here for? Because we know she came here for some reason beyond the money. Because she didn't need the money, she didn't want, like, fame, she doesn't particularly care about killing blood fiends. She came here for a reason. And it seems like this ties into it somehow. She got some sort of tip that this would help her. Whatever goal she is regarding memories. So that's what you've been looking for, Zichun. Not exactly. It's a different stream, somewhere near the River of Oblivion. So one of the other, assuming it's the 5 Greek rivers, you've got, you got Styx, you've got Acheron, you've got Phlegathon, and then you've got Cocytus, I think it is. I think those are the 5 alongside Leith, right? Which one could you be looking for, I wonder? They're all very interesting, that's for sure. I sit back at the river, I'm searching for something to do with the immortality of the mind that our elders have been seeking so desperately. Immortality of the mind. Interesting. So have the Jia family, have they promised, whoever finds what they're looking for is the heir or something? Becomes the heir and all the others become ostracized? Definitely see something like that going on. It might be the Styx then, right? Go for some, Achilles type play. I'm pretty sure that was the Styx, Achilles becoming immune to everything except for the heal, because, being bathed in the river Styx is a baby. I think the myths can vary a little bit, but that's the big thing, right? To be free from aging and death, right? Yeah, that old tiresome thing. Maybe. That's how my memories were removed. I don't even have a dreamy recollection of my memories. It's like they were uprooted straight from my head. So it's either been transferred to a different person or an object, or it's been totally destroyed, forever unsalvageable. Still, I have no clue as to who, how, or why anyone would do such a thing. Jiazi Chun briefly glanced at me as my clock ticked on before turning her attention back to Honglu. That's why these scant traces of this barrier are so important to me. I can't tell you in any greater detail, but I see them. I can see her ancient traces here. She did have, moves called, Faint Trace, stuff like that, as some of her attacks. Interesting. Come on, this is important to you, too. If you want to survive his hairs, we have to find that thing, or elders seek that immortality. Jiazi-chan stopped still midway through her sentence. I see. This is where we have to go our separate ways. Yeah. Leaving us already? The path diverges, and we must each take the other trail. It's time to say goodbye. If your friend had really lost her memories from drinking the waters of the River of Oblivion, then she has to be extremely disoriented, coming to terms with the realization that those hazy and nightmarish visions were in fact her own memories, that they weren't just dreams, has to be... Yes, it will be sad and complex. After all, who is the dreamer? Is it myself as I had existed in that dream, or myself who has awakened from it? Well, whichever it may be, whether it is a butterfly or not, I guess it will flutter away once again. Thank you for letting me know, T-chan. Yeah, I guess you haven't been spending your time chasing the clouds out here, brother. I'll see you around. I have a feeling we'll be seeing each other again very soon. Do not like splitting up. Do not like the implications for T-chan. I can't imagine she's gonna die or be blood fiending though, because that feels like too large of a thing to happen near the climax of Dawn's Kanto, right? I feel like it would be getting too close to Honglu's Kanto. You're probably gonna be fine. If you say so, T-chan, then it will be so. We might not see her till Honglu's Kanto, though. That might be what she's implying, though. Don't bother saying goodbye. It'll be a waste of time. Yeah, assume does she mean she's leaving? However you leave from the Fathoms. I mean, assumably the exit. Oh, there's an event there! Cool! That's good to see. We're gonna get E.G.O gifts and stuff. I'm very glad about that. But yeah, a lot happened so far. As per usual, a lot of exposition stuff at the beginning. We're gonna get some fights and stuff upcoming here, of course, that's for sure. Very curious to see what way it's gonna be going from now on. But I think that'll be all for now. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!